I have my overhead light on. Oh, did you hear that? No. Good morning, art buddies. Hey, Peggy, good morning. Welcome to my channel, Bricolage with Pink Girly. I was just whispering something to myself. I don't know if it recorded. I have some weirdness going on with my lights. I see little lines here. I don't know what it is. I guess it has to do with really outside light that's coming in. I don't know. Everything's the same here. Haven't changed a thing. Well, I did change my mind. This morning I was going to do something totally different. I thought, oh, you know what? I don't really feel like doing that. And so I switched gears. So it could be a problem. We'll just see how it goes. How you doing, Peggy? What's your weather prediction? We're sitting here waiting for this blizzard to hit. Cynthia, good morning. Cynthia, I probably should know this, but I don't. What part of the country are you in? Are you down south? We talked to our daughter yesterday, and they're supposed to get, she said, 18 inches. Rain with heavy snow. Yeah, that's what we're getting. Now, it's already now that we heard it's not supposed to start raining here till noon, but it's been raining since 7. So, oh, you're north, Massachusetts. So you're, okay, 18 to 20. Oh my goodness, girl. I hope you got some. We went and decided to go out and have a bite to eat last night, and so then we stopped. Our neighbors picked us up some stuff too, but then we stopped and got some last minute things. So we're good as far as we're good as far as groceries and supplies. And oh, Massachusetts is getting hit hard. Yikes! So I guess it's gaining strength as it goes up. Oh, that's good, Cynthia. That was my next question. Are you still working? Do you have to get out? Hey, G3. Good morning. Nice to see you. So we're all hunkered down here. Yeah, we just got rid of all of our snow. Right. My husband said it's a blizzard. We're supposed to get 50-mile-an-hour winds. So that's not fun. That's what my grandmother was always most afraid of, is high winds. She would go and sit on the john. She felt like the bathroom was the safest room to be in. In her house, I don't know. It was kind of on the outside corner, but that's what she grew up being told. So your son is in Needham. Kel, good morning. You got 8 inches on Friday night? Oh dear. Oh, good job, Brenda. How you holding up through that? Middleborough. Oh, Peggy's saying her son is in Needham. I gotcha. Cynthia, my son is. I gotcha. Okay. I thought it was Cynthia saying that. It was Peggy. I forgot. She's got kiddos up there. Yeah. Oh, yours isn't supposed to hit till Monday, Kel? Yeah, we're supposed to get it today here. I was just telling the gals, Colleen said they're supposed to get 18 inches. We're slotted for 8 to 10 inches. But some reports say where I am, South Jersey, is supposed to get more. Who knows? Anywho, the dog just got her bearings back as to where she can go to the bathroom instead of slipping in and sliding. Oh well. I guess Phil Puxatani Phil, or whatever his name is, in Pennsylvania is correct. I saw a couple of robins, so I thought, well, maybe Phil got it wrong this year. Wah, wah, wah. Anywho, All right. So I was going to do a different project today, do something different. And then when I woke up this morning, I thought, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know that I really feel like doing that. And when I was consolidating and putting some other things together and packing away stuff and going through stuff, I found these little tiny, well, they're not super tiny, these smaller envelopes. I just love envelopes and I love envelope journals and those kinds of things. So I'm going to do a couple of things with these, I think. Hey, Joyce, good morning. Um, and I'm calling them journal sliders. The idea is it just will slide into your journal, slide into a pocket or a tuck spot. Nothing real thick and heavy, a flatter profile. And these are small. Most of the journals, I would say, most of us make or build are, 5x7, 6x9, something like that. I don't think we make. Some people make smaller ones, of course. And of course, you can make smaller envelopes and do the same idea. So I'm going to put a couple of them together. Oh, you did, Brenda? Cool. Then you're in business, girl. So I'm going to use a couple of things to decorate them after I show you how I'm going to put a couple of them a couple I've already put together. And I'm going to show you a couple different ways that I like to put them together. Just because I can. All right, so I did a couple already. So this is normally how I would put them together. So this is how it looks. You end up with can you see the little flap of the one envelope? Now these are lined. So and this is a nice heavier weighted envelope. And I was thinking, not everybody likes the look of that point of the envelope on it. And then of course you can always cover it. So there's that. So I put that one together that way. This one, I did the same thing. I just slid this inside. I'll show you in a minute. And then I left this floppy. Because you could write on there, put a little secret message or whatever. You could trim it off, really. So there's that one. And then this one I put together so you don't see the flap, little flippy flap. And then there's another way that I saw G. Kerr put hers together, and I was going to show you that as well. So the first one I put together, I put a little glue on this. Now I have one like it, so I'm not going to glue this one down. But I put a little glue here, and I tucked this in. Now this is just in case you've never done this, or for replayers if you're new. You may not have thought about this or really looked at it. I apologize. I took my nails off because I hurt this finger, and I want to keep an eye on that nail bed, so I took them off. So I have naked fingers today. I apologize. So then you want to put glue on your flap and then carefully slide it in so it lines up. Now it's a little fiddly because when you have glue on there, then you just press it down and then you've got the no flap look. All right. Then the other one I did where I just put glue on the flap and this one slides in just like the other one. Flap in, flap out. This has the flap out. You're going to press it down so you get a good stick. And then this one you could, hey, Judy, good morning. Nice to see you. What's your weather? What are you waiting for? Are you waiting for snow or are you avoiding the storm? This one you can leave the flap, up or just glue it down. So they're the ones that I have. Hey, Cindy, good morning. We're getting the weather report from everybody. Right? So they're the three I showed you. I have those already glued together. Now, G. Kerr, I'm not prepared for this, so let me take a moment. Let me take a moment and see what I have sitting right here that I can use There's my circus song, Kel. Bum, 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 bum. Certainly, I have things sitting everywhere that I can use. Oh, you know what? I just put some stuff in the trash. I bet I could use those if I can get my bin out here. Hold, please. I'm going to dig in the trash. See, you never should throw anything. Oh, they're all bent. Oh, they're kind of dark. I don't think I want that. All right, plan B. Plan B. Got a bag of fabric under my desk. Let me get that. There should be something there. Judy is not expecting snow, but Mother Nature is a bit fickle, so come what may. Come what may. I think that's a song. All right, I'm looking for a piece of fabric that's kind of on the, well, this is all kind of not very flat. It's all wrinkly. Wrinkly. I have some non-wrinkly stuff somewhere. Sorry. I just didn't think about this part. This option. This is a little less wrinkly. All right, this is some of the shindy fabric that when I take those shindy rugs apart, it does come in handy. Very much in handy. So what you want is a couple of pieces of flat. Hey, Gail, good morning. Gail's probably going to get snow too. Wait a minute, where did I put that other? I really want something flatter, I think, else. That's kind of stiff. All right, we're just gonna ring it. No, we're gonna wing it. I'm just gonna wing it because I forgot about this part. All right, so I'm taking fabric, but you could use paper too. The paper that I have sitting here is kind of on the dark side. It's on the dark side. I don't want it terribly dark. Oh, Gail, really? Okay, Kel said she got snow on Friday, and they're expecting more on Monday. Now she's in Maine, but we're supposed to get rain first. It is raining here now, although I think it's cold here. My room is really cold, and okay, so I'm just going to make. I don't want it too terribly wide because my envelopes are small. So I'm going to just make a couple of strips. Hey, Connie, good morning. And we're supposed to get 8 to 10 inches where we are in Jersey. All right, so this should do me. So I think generally speaking, this is kind of a sheer, it's not kind of, it is a sheer fabric. But it's what I have handy, so that's what I'm going to use. And but generally speaking, I like to use like a calico cotton kind of a fabric for this. A muslin is nice. So what you do is you take 2 strips of fabric, the length, this is a little longer, but I can trim it, the length of your envelopes. And you want to make sure your flaps are facing out. See, because then these will be pockets. And you put them fairly close together. You want it to be able to bend and fold like a book, right? So you don't want them super smashed. And then you want to find out where you've set your, oh no, do I have it? I think I have my, oh, hold on, I gotta go get my, geez, I left my my glue out on the kitchen counter. Hold on, please. See, I changed my mind last minute, so I'm not totally prepared. Okay, my husband says he's not going deaf, but I'll tell you, he listens to that TV pretty loud. And maybe it's loud because I have hearing aids now and I can hear. I don't know. But it's loud out there. It's loud out there. Okay, now you could use tape. You know, if you had some packing tape or duct tape, or I just put some paper tape. I should have put that in too, but I didn't. But I'm going to use my Fabra Fix. I love this glue. Cindy said she just woke up. Girl, I've been awake. I've been awake since 7. I've just been messing around. All right, so I'm going to put a little bit of glue on each side of the edge of my envelope. If it decides it wants to come out. Now you could put it thicker. I should put it thicker because I have my fabrics a little wider than just one little strip. Boy, I'm really striping today. I'm striping. So I'm going to sit those together like this. And then I'm going to take my fabric. Try not to wiggle them too far apart. Now I've seen G. Kerr do this. And it really makes a nice end product. Now you can go back in and glue more of that down. You may want to cover that. Just depends on your project or what you're doing. But for my little sliders, good morning, CB. It's nice to see everyone. I hope I didn't miss anybody coming in now. Okay, I'm just checking. I saw Connie. All right. Great, girls. Now I'm going to flip this over. Of course, you know, your glue does come through your fabric because it's porous. And then I'm going to do the same thing on this side with my other piece of fabric. Now, you would match this with whatever you're going to, if you're working on a large journal and you're wanting to do a little slide in, a little slider, you'd want to match, maybe your fabric to the style or color palette of your journal. Or maybe not. I just grabbed what was handy because I didn't think about. Now, like I said, you could use paper. You don't have to use fabric. The paper I have sitting around, I was a little on the dark side. Of course, once you get it together, you can cover this. You could stitch these down too, ladies, if you desired. And I got my fingers sticking to everything. I put my plastic wrap away. How about that? I could use my plastic wrap. But I put it away. I'm trying to be better at putting stuff away. See, and then when I do, I could use it. Now, certainly this works, right? But I think a cotton or muslin would work better, look better. You could even use, if you had really wide, that seam binding stuff, seam binding tape. See, then I'm just going to trim those. And then that's just going to fold. It works like my hinge. So, and then you've got pockets like this, where you could use this. Now, the idea of my journal slider is that it will be fairly flat. Not too many pages. I'm going to put pages in. But you don't have to. It could be just a little folder, where you could store little cards and stuff. I'm refilling and cleaning my cup at Martin. I should be getting a buzz. I always wondered how to do that. I guess I should look at a video. I mean, I don't think I have. Yeah, I think most of them are refillable, right? I only have a few Copic that I found on clearance. I mostly have those something Spectrum Noir brand. Hmm. Okay, so I'm going to leave that sit a moment and dry. Hopefully, it's not going to stick to anything. So then it would come to once you get those together, you might want to decorate them depending on your envelopes, right? So these are three that I put together for some of you that were not here right at the very beginning. So this one, it just slid inside of each other with a flap glued down on the outside edge. This one I tucked. Well, let's just everybody's. There's a lot of folks here now. So this one I just put a little bit of glue here. I can't get any of my white glue containers to work. I'm going to have to soak them and clean them. It's annoying. I'm going to chuck this inside. I just put a little bit of glue on the very tip of that flap just to keep it, down. It's not going to go anywhere, but just to keep it down. And then you need another envelope. And this one, I'm going to put glue here, and I'm going to slide it in so you don't see a flap. Okay. Thanks, Brenda. All right, so let me grab my glue brush here. I'm trying to remember to put it back in water so it doesn't, thanks, Peggy, so it doesn't get ruined. So I've got a little bit of glue over here. All right, so then I'm going to carefully slide this in. Needs a little bit of wiggle room, but depends on how well your envelopes cooperate, because you want to mush that down, you want to scoop that down as far as you can. So you get a nice fit. This may be off a little bit, guys. This may be off just a little bit. We're going to make it work. Judy says, keep supplies you use every show no more than arms like in sight. Items are not for, yes, because they see, and then that's how my space keeps getting smaller and smaller. So I purchased a little cart, like a library cart thing. It's supposed to be for books, but I can't get that to work. Yeah, I was sleeping. And she said, oh, I didn't want to be streaming. Clicked. Sometimes, yeah, if you forget to select the one thing, you end up being live. She was probably wanting to do a recording. She's doing a series of how to put journals together. Yeah. I didn't chat with her much this morning. She's out shopping. All right, so that's that one. See, I'm off a little bit here. Well, I'm off a little bit everywhere, if you really want to know. Okay, so that's that way. And then the ones with the, I'm running out of, oh yeah, that makes a little pocket there too. Look at there. Oh, that's the one I was showing you earlier. Did glue it. Did I glue it? All right, I have 5. Let's see how many for that one. 2, 3, 4. Yes, this is my last one. So then you can also just tuck them inside of each other. I don't know how many of you have not ever done this, but you can tuck them inside of each other this way too. This way you usually Easier said than done. This way, you can get it in pretty good. And then you just glue your flap. But then you got your little flap. So of course there's plenty of ways to decorate these. So I'm going to go through and just start decorating some different ideas I have. I don't want them stark white. Stark white does not work with most journals that I have that I might want to tuck this into. So I want to decorate them or address the whiteness anyway, So there's tons of ways you can do that. So some of the ways I was thinking about doing it today was stenciling, of course, covering it with other paper, jelly printing ish on them. So I'm just going to have at it. So let's just take. Let's take this one. This one's got the flap. I don't necessarily want to see that flap, right? All right. So then I was showing, I think in my last stream that I bought a product from scrapbook.com, and I thought the paper was like 12 by 12 or at least an 8 by 8. No, they were this little size. I think these are 4 by 6. But my envelope is 5 by 3.5. So I want to cover this. No, this is just a little slide-in journal, Judy, to use as in a tuck spot in another existing journal that you might have. Okay, Gail. She's going to go talk to Daddy. Okay. Wish I could talk to my daddy. Okay, so I was thinking I could just cut this and glue it on, but then I thought, you know what? I don't know. Maybe I want to wrap this around, So I'm going to mark this. I'm going to do a little mark. And I'm going to put a fold line there. I'm going to see how this works. This may not be my best idea, but we're going to try it. I have a lot of not so best ideas, but it's all good. It's all good. Now, most of us, I think, probably have favorite ways of doing things, right? And there's not just one way. One way or another. I just remembered I put my little score. This is okay, but it's kind of thick. Let's try it anyway. So it's right about there. Let's do it. See, I have a hard time with this in this corner. In this corner, we have now, if I really want to bend this really well, I score on both sides. All right. And everybody stay in their place. Don't jump out. Hey, Ginger Pants. So I was thinking I could wrap this way. See, now I'm going to come up short. And I knew that was going to happen. But you get the idea. I could zhuzh it. I would love to know how to spell zhuzh. Or you could just cut that off there, and be done with it. So there's several different ways to do it. My way's not always the best way. But see, this is what I do. I sit at my desk and I fiddle around with stuff and I put my pen back. It's not my disappearing pen, but that's all right. I'm going to cut this off. I'm cutting it off. I'm cutting it off with my new little baby cutter. I had a cutter fall apart, so I replaced it with this little, little, little baby one. And let's see. The only thing is, it's not very wide. Oops, got the wrong end. To measure. So let's see. I like this side too. If I want to make it grungy, and then I'm going to wrap something around that end. So this is one scenario. Now you could always measure, but see, this only goes up to 3.5. I guess it's 4 inches out to that edge, which is not what I need. That's just about 3.5, so that's okay. And then I just need a smidge off the end. Just a smidge. I don't cut straight, even with the cutter. It's an occupational problem. All right, so that's what I'm going to do on that one. I'm just going to tuck them in there for now. All right. Now I made some. I thought I had some in my refrigerator, but I couldn't find it. Scooter was napping, so I just made some more. So I don't know how dark this is. I just took some coffee, instant coffee, put it in hot water, and let it dissolve. And I'm going to use this on my jelly plate. Now I'm thinking I might want to paint someone first. So I got out my little jelly plate, which I set it aside because I wasn't quite ready for it. Here it is. And I've said this many times. I took an 8x10 jelly plate and whacked it up into different little pieces because that's what I wanted to do. I have the big one, so I didn't really need the 8x10. Of course, I bought that when I, wasn't sure what I was going to be doing with my life. And so there you have it. All right, so this is the one I don't have any flap showing, okay? Brenda says, I'm always afraid of staining my jelly plate. Then I see Devin and see I need to just live more and stain. Yeah, because I don't take care of mine at all. Okay, but I'm like that. That's who I am, and I just have accepted it. See, I still have drips on this from. I don't care about it. I don't care about it. It works for me, and I don't have to fuss. I mean, you could keep it clean, I guess, but why? It doesn't affect your end product. And the end product is, what you got going on here, when you lift up a print. Now, of course, this is water. It's not acrylic paint or anything, but you could certainly add acrylic paint. And I'm just sitting this on top of a little piece of plastic to try not to make a total mess. Now, I could just put stuff on my plate, but I think I want this to be knock this color back just a little bit. Now, I think that my coffee totally dissolved, but I don't really know. And if there's some bits of coffee in there, I just thought, might make even a cooler effect. Now, I'm going to brush some of this on the inside too. I'm just trying to do a light coat. I don't want it super saturated because I want to use it for today's stream, hopefully. Yeah, I guess sometimes I put a little, like say I want to use the bigger plate, but I only want to put paint in a certain area instead of, because I don't need the whole plate, I might put a little sample piece underneath of it. If it's heavily stained, I guess you can't really see that, which is not a big deal. See, look, it's already picked up what was left over on my plate, which I think is just really cool. I'm going to use my heat tool and dry this up a little bit. I didn't, I just don't have enough space here. So I didn't pull out my iron or my ironing board thing. So I'm just going to dry this a little bit. Now you can do this with any size envelope. Okay, you don't need to do little ones. I'm doing little ones because I want to use them for tuck-ins. I want to use them for sliders. I just want to slide them in. Now I just dried that a little bit. I know it's going to get wet again, but I just want to, Devin works wonders with, oh my gosh, Devin to me is just like the bomb. I mean, she's so good at what she does. So good. And some of the stuff, if you ever watched one where she goes to the dollar store and she picks up this random stuff and she brings it home and she does stuff on her plate. She amazes me, really. Okay, so I'm not going to worry about the inside of my envelope. I'm not super crazy about that green. I don't really care about it. But if you have an envelope that you're working on, you don't want the inside, yucked up, slip some other paper in there. Maybe a piece of wax paper or freezer paper, something like that, that would not soak through and protect that inside of your. I'm not going to worry about that today. Okay, I'm just not going to worry about it. So now I'm going to take some more of my coffee. Now I could just dump it on here, but I don't want it to. I don't want it to run all over the top of my desk. So I'm just going to start slapping on some. Now you could use watercolor. You could use acrylic paint. Yeah, I think you could use alcohol ink. Of course, that would really bleed through. I'm not sure what that would do to your envelope. I guess that would bleed all the way through. I'm not sure. Not an expert for sure on that for sure. And then I'm just going to press it down, see what I get. I didn't get much. That's a little better. It was a little too wet, I think, the first time. I'm just trying to grunge this up a little bit so it doesn't look so tighty-whitey white. I'm just going to leave this dry. Okay. So that's one scenario, right? Actually, that's two. Cover it with some kind of paper, like scrapbook paper, wrapping paper, whatever you have. You could piece it. You could rip and tear book pages and glue it down. Whatever floats your boat. Okay. And then you can also do this. Actually, I could also. So these are the pages, the papers that I cut out to put on. This coffee is not as dark as I thought it was. See, now this is how I get. I get where I just want to try other stuff. Hold on. I want something dark. I've been looking for that. I bought this book It was really cool. I thought it was really cool. All right, this is Payne's Gray. I love Payne's Gray, something darker. We were at the Walmart, and I saw this little book. It's 200, 200 drawing prompts. The book's only about maybe this big. The paper inside was really nice. I don't know. This is out, like if I touch paper, it's like, oh my gosh, I have to have it. See, it's just, I don't know. It's just never ending for me. I'm going to drip a little bit of this on. This is probably not going to work, and then I'm just going to put some water on it and just really mush that around and try to make different. I could really squirt water on there too. Spray it, I should say. I don't know, this might look kind of cool. And just start. See, I like that. See, you don't have to be an expert, right? That looks cute. Let's do the other side. Still have paint in my brush. I used a lot of water. And then I sprayed it a little bit. Just using dirty water out of my jar here, to keep my brush clean. I think a lot of times the trick is, once you do it, you can get it. Believe it. I know. Payne's Gray. I love. It's one of my faves. Payne's Gray is so great. So once you do it a couple of times, just leave it. Okay. Dribble more. Oh, that would be an idea, Brenda. Yeah, I could have done that. I could have done that. I don't want to stick my dirty brush in the coffee, though. I'm trying to see if I have a pipette right handy, but I don't see one. But that's definitely an idea. So now I can really just leave this dry on my plate, And then the next time I pull my plate out, I have some really cool stuff there to pull off. What was I just doing? The alcohol ink stuff. And I had some pipettes up here. Something to, well, I could get a different brush. How about that, girls? How about I get a different brush? Brenda, do you mean drip it on the plate or drip it on? You find the enemy of the jelly plate is storing it and it gets an air bubble that leaves a mark. Drip it on the plate? Okay, kid, hold on. I always leave my plate out and open until it's totally dry before I put it back in its little clam thing. So I don't know if that would help that problem or resolve that problem. I'm looking for something that's a paintbrush that's kind of more like a liner, like this one. Oh, this is one of my favorite brushes. Hold on. Let's see if I can. This coffee is so light, I'm not sure we're going to even be able to see it. Hold on, let's try again. Oh, there we go. I'm going to add more coffee to this later. This is a little light for me. I usually like it a little darker. And then make sure you put this back in your fridge. Tell everybody in your house what it is so they don't go, gulping it. I want this to be really dry, I think, so it picks up, I think, a little better. So a little heat on here. I don't jelly print that much either. But when I do, I make a mess and I do it for hours because it's, to me, it's just so addictive. Now I want those drips to dry that way because the color will be more intense in those spots, right? So I want that to dry that way. Let's come back with this. Let's mop up some of this. Ugh. See, I could do this for hours. The problem today is that it's cold in my room. And it's, oh, look at that. It's going to take a while for these to dry. I might have to get my little iron out anyway. Get out my little iron. If I iron the paper, it goes a little quicker, you know? It dries the paper and then I can, do whatever I want with it. I've kind of lost the Payne's Gray, haven't I? There's kind of not left much left in my brush. A little drip. It's hard to just get a little drip of paint. That's what drove me crazy when I was doing ceramics, teaching ceramics. The girls were just like, and it was just, oh my gosh, all the paint we threw away drove me crazy. Now what I might do is pick this up with something else first because it's a little too much. Let's see, what do I have sitting here? Oh, you know what? Where's my little? This is a index card I purchased from Lovely's Crafting Lodge. This is, of course, you can see the grid, and it looks really cool. But let's pick up some of this with this. See, that looks really cool too, right? Hey, Christine. Good morning. So I socked up some of that extra. Now let's add a little more coffee. Now this is going to have to dry a lot before, I can glue this down onto my envelopes. But there you have it. So I'm just going to leave that because then I can come back in and pick up, see, I got all kinds of stuff at my desk. Let's just do it. See, this is what I'm saying. See, I can't leave it alone. You can see it a little bit. It looks cool, right? Oh my gosh, this stuff is so cool. Like, I just don't understand why my sisters aren't interested to do this kind of stuff. My goodness. I mean, this is just like, I just love this. I just love this art and stuff, girls. I just absolutely love it. Love it. Okay. So now maybe I have a journal where, it's a little brighter and I don't want that darky stuff. Now this, of course, I've got the flap. I can just kind of try to ignore that. Do I have one? Did I put one together where I don't have another one? Let's see where if I don't have, I don't have the flap on this one. So then I'm going to take a stencil. I'm just going to take a stencil and start. Now this is the stuff I got from scrapbook.com that was in that kit. This stencil was part of it, and I just think it's yummy. So I could just stencil on this. Now I'm going to see some of the white for sure. But I pulled out some colors to try to make it, I was thinking I would stencil hold that thought. I was thinking I would stencil. Oh, see, I've got myself all. Let's do this. I'm gonna have to get out my. Hey, Lynn. Good morning. How you doing? A lot of us are hunkering down, waiting for a winter blizzard to hit. How about you? Okay, I'm gonna just put some of this. Now I've got a little bit of blue in here from my Payne's Gray. A lot of people like the grunge. I like it too. I think a lot of stuff is not necessarily sunny and bright journal wise, although there are some girls like Amity Blue. Hers are always bright and sunny. Sunny days. So let's just do this. Now, if I want to dry this, which I do, I should get my little iron, my little violet that Teresa gifted me. But I want to put something underneath so it's like I don't think this will melt the silicone, but let's err on the side of caution. Just going to put some paper underneath to act like a little ironing board. Well, I guess you're right to some degree, Brenda. I don't know. I always liked old vintage stuff, so I think some of it for me is a little bit of that because it reminds me of old vintage things. Gosh, I wish I was into this stuff when my grandma was still with us. Would have been able to have a field day with some of her stuff because I don't think she ever threw anything out. Okay, now this was plugged in, but it has come undone. She's come undone. Do, 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 do. Okay, so all right. I've got my little violet, and she's going to hopefully heat up and dry my page. Yep, she's on. She's on. It's so nice having this guy right next to right here by my work area. I purchased an ironing mat board thing from, gosh, I never remember her name. Her husband's name is Sean. Oh, why can't I remember her name? How's Dad doing? Gail. St. Louis is 16 degrees, not expecting any worse weather, though. Oh, well, that's good. Your dad's doing okay? Good. Just trying to dry this out. You can certainly let this air dry. And let's be honest, even if I was sitting here by myself, I wouldn't wait. I'd get an iron out or something and try to dry it quicker. Because I want to get going. I want to get going and do stuff. Lindy, gosh, thanks, Lindy. And it's a marvelous board. They had two different sizes. Of course, Lori's like, I want the bigger size, which it's great. It's really great. But the smaller size would have fit on my desk area better, which I didn't think about. Heidi, hello. Good morning. Oh, there's the Tooch. Hi, Tooch. Good morning, ladies. Good morning. Welcome in. So I'm just trying to dry that. This has got to be really dry, I think, because I want to stencil. I wanted to stencil on um, envelopes that had some color already on it, not white. I could do both, but um, the colors I picked out here, I was going to use my oxide. So I picked out bundled sage, I picked out moss, and then ground espresso to try to make this look dark and yummy. There's Teresa. Hi, Teresa. Oops. I want to do that. I don't want to tear my envelope. I got Violet working. Look, she just works right there in my hand. It's so wonderful. It's so wonderful. So we've got doctor's appointments we're hoping are not canceled. My granddaughter's play is Friday, so hopefully by then everything will be. The thing of it is with when Ron and I were out and about yesterday, there's still piles of snow everywhere. So where are they going to put this next? Oh, and you know what else we noticed? A couple of the car dealerships, there were no cars in their lot. Their cars were empty. And we just assumed they did that so they could plow the lot. Heidi says, I'm learning some new crafts, quilting and scrapbooking. Just finished my knitted sweater vest. Oh, good for you. I can't even imagine. Oh, Gail. Yeah, steroid injection. Oh, I'm sorry that's giving you trouble. Our Teresa's still on the mend. She's getting there, though. She's getting there. She was making a hamburger yesterday. See, I'm just thinking if this is damp or too wet, it's not gonna work real well. I want to make a good impression. Now, I'm not worried about the inside of this envelope so much. So just keep that in mind, whatever you're doing. If you put these together, and if you don't know how to put them together, just go back and watch the beginning of the stream where I put a couple of these together. You could really put them together any way that you like. All right, let's see. This is still kind of. This turned out really yummy. Now I am going to put a few pages in these as well. Oh, Gail. That's not good. My mom dislocated her shoulder. Of course, this is many years ago now. My sister was there. My one sister was there, and she had done some laundry for Mom. This was before Mom got, a little loopy there towards the end. So she had all the laundry folded in the basket, and she wanted to put it away. And Mom said, no, I can do it. It's something I can do. Let me do it. So my sister said, well, where do you want me to put the basket? And she said, oh, just put it there, at the end of my bed, and I'll get it later. Well, she forgot it was there. And of course, she took a tumble over it. This is before the boys lived with her. So this is a good 10, 15 years ago. And when she flipped over it, she dislocated her shoulder. She probably should have had surgery. I don't remember anybody suggesting that, but um, she never could use that arm right, correctly again. Oh, that sounds interesting, Christine. Christina. Christina, you're not Christina G, are you? Because some of us have a couple different. Hey, there's Jackie. Hi, Jackie. Oh, you can't hang. Oh, that's too bad. Jackie, are you expecting some inclement weather? Just stay safe. Oh, that's right. You're in Maryland, so you probably got some yuck coming your way too. All right, so certainly you could do this on a white envelope, and it would look really nice. But the colors I picked out for right this second, I'm trying to set violet upright. I picked out some colors to maybe have it look a little grunge. Little grunge. Now, I want to get my little protective piece of plastic here. That's really yucky, but if I don't clean my stencils, I'm not cleaning this. You know what I'm saying? All right, so I wanted to open this way, of course. So I'm going to put it down this way. I'm going to use this stencil, and I'm going to use, hopefully, they're still here at my desk. Oh, shooties. Where did I put mine? I covered that was the last project. I covered the can that my brushes were in with a napkin. Oh, yeah, that looks cute. You would see the napkin better if I painted the can first, but I did not. Looks cute though, right? I like it. I like it. All right, so the first color I think I want to do, let's start light and then go dark. So let's do the bundled sage, and I'm just going to do this every which way. This might end up looking like army fatigues or something. Camouflage. I'm thinking about trying to dip my hand into making it digital, but I don't know. I don't know if I can do it. All right, so I'm just going to hit or miss everywhere. Just a little bit here and a little bit there. And I'm not going to move my stencil because I don't want to have to, reline it up. This is really light, which is fine. Now I'm going to moss green. That's better. Add some here and there. I think I want to keep the espresso. Now I'm using the same brush, because I use the green brush for all my greens. And if I'm concerned about it cross-contaminating or not giving me a true color, I just rub it on a napkin or something to clean it off. Let's get a little bit up here. And then I'm going to use the espresso. And then I'm going to switch to my darker brush for this. Analytics, I can't even get an idea. Oh, Gil's crocheting. I got tired of looking at my hoarded yarn a couple of weeks. Oh, it just popped up and I missed it. So she's been knitting. That's great, Gail. How wonderful. I wonder if a hospital would take them, like for a children's ward or kids that lose their hair from treatment. This one guy that I follow, no crocheting. Oh, I missed it. Hold on. Let me go back. I got tired of looking at it, so I decided a couple weeks ago, I decided to use as much as I can making stocking hats, beanies. I can get one done in about 3 to 4 hours of stitching. Yeah, that's great. That's great. I've often thought about that. I don't follow through with a lot of stuff, though. That kind of stuff. Yeah, homeless shelters. That's another. Okay, so I was going to say I follow this guy. He's on Instagram. His name is not knitting crocheting. Okay, gotcha. Um, Zeb Days. He calls his Instagram account. He goes and visits folks at a nursing care facility. Okay, so this isn't looking grungy. And he takes some sweaters and he started putting, this online on Instagram, and people have been donating things to him: socks, sweaters, hats, toiletries, all that kind of stuff. I know you don't want to get involved in any of that. I understand. That's fine. But that's also something, I think, little beanies, because they can wear them around the house, around their house and their apartment. Oh, that's cool, Heidi. Yeah. Um, but there again, that's shipping. So if Gail wants to do someplace local, maybe that those other things might work. You know, um, I think even schools, maybe in some lower income neighborhoods, could go maybe try. I don't know. Maybe the school nurse could use them. I don't know. Just thinking outside the box a little bit, maybe. All right, back to the green. I'm going to do the same thing. Teresa said the chemo doctor's office where Rick went welcomed, scarves and gloves. Hand them out in the lobby. Oh, or maybe they set them out for the patients. Oh, let's see that. Hey, Nicole, good morning. Oh, that's a great idea too. Check with your daughter-in-law. She works. Yeah. Because there's got to be. Okay, so years ago, the church that we attended, we had a program called Awana, and it was on Friday nights. Kids would come; they had to study Bible verses, and we gave them a snack and games. So they had a Bible time, and it was all biblical based. It's a wonderful program. It's a wonderful program, and the kids loved it. And this was for ages kindergarten through sixth grade. Okay. So there was a family of boys that came, two boys, um, and their mom had some issues. Their one brother, who might have been a twin to one of them, I'm not sure. We never saw him. Apparently, he was really ill in a wheelchair. I didn't find this out till years later. Anyway, the other two boys would come. The one boy, I don't remember his name. I remember Daniel. They had kind of a reddish color to their hair. They're just beautiful boys. But Daniel was always in trouble. He was always in trouble. Oh, really, Jackie? Gosh, I loved the program. My kids loved it. I loved being involved with it. Anyway, Daniel was always in trouble, always sent out from the game time, always doing something. This kid just had my heart. I mean, I just loved this kid. And my role there was doing all the statistics. I was not in charge, but the gal that I worked with, seeing who was present. The kids would come up to the desk and they'd have to tell us if they had their Bible that night and if they were there. And then there were some other questions I think we had some, we would check them in, right? And if kids didn't have Bibles, we'd see that they got a Bible, all that stuff. And so when the kids were playing their games or in their Bible time, we had downtime. It was just quiet at the desk. So I would take my knitting. And almost every week, Daniel would say, "What are you doing? What are you making?" He was always interested in what I was making. So I thought, I'm making this kid a winter hat. So that's what I did. So I started working on this. And like Gail's saying, crocheting goes a lot quicker, I think. But it doesn't take you long to do a beanie. So a week or, working on it at home didn't take long. So he comes rolling in. And I said, "Hey, when you get a minute, I got something for you." Well, he loved it. He just loved it. "What is Awana?" "Cindy, you were? Oh my gosh." Awana is a Bible-based children's program that a lot of churches will run, say like on a weeknight. Say a lot of them are Friday nights, and then it gives parents a chance. They can go out and have something to eat or go do some shopping or whatever, and the kids are being looked after. Okay, so this is what I've got. Now, I should really come inside and do this, but I what is it? It's already after 11:15, so I'm going to move on. But see, I'll come back in and do this portion, and then I can put whatever on the inside, kind of decorate this. But I want it to be flat, so it's like a slider. So the kids learn Bible verses. They play games. They get stories told to them from. Oh, thanks, Nicole. They get stories told to them from the Bible. And then there's people there to pray with them. And they get points and awards for learning their verses and stuff. They work through a book. And it's a great program. It's really a great program. Anyway, so Daniel gets his beanie cap. He loves it. I mean, it was just such a joy to do that and give it to him. "Okay, Jackie, just whatever you're doing, be careful." So the next week, Daniel shows up. The whole whole top of the hat is unraveled. I'm like, "What did you do?" "I don't know. There was a string, and I pulled it." Oh my gosh! Give me the hat. So I had to fix that. Gosh, I love that kid. He was so ornery. He was always in trouble. Gosh, he was just so precious to me. That kid was just so precious to me. Okay. I have no idea. Right now he's probably, oh my gosh, he's probably in his mid-20s. All right, so this is the one I put the fabric on. This is the way. Yeah, he probably did, Gail. He had a tough home life too, so I'm sure that didn't help. I'm going to just trim this off. Now, like I said earlier, normally, if I was prepared appropriately, I would probably use some kind of muslin, but this is some shindy fabric that I had just sitting under my desk, so that's what I used. So you can put it together this way. See, look, you don't want to do what Lori did. See, I got it crooked. You want to make sure they're evened up, but even still. So then you've got pockets, right? So it's still flat, and now you can decorate and do whatever you want for this as well. Look, I've got glue everywhere. Somewhere I put pages. All right, so now because this has this darker burgundy in it, I have this burgundy colored, um, burgundy plum colored paper that I got from Jacqueline Lovely's Crafting Lodge. There she is. She's making something to eat. Good girl. Um, so I just have 3 pages. Like I said, I want to keep this thin and flat so I can use it as a tuck-in. All right, what did Heidi say? I missed what Heidi said. Oh, animals I can't make those animals. I had a hard time trying to make a decent looking animal. That is a great idea. You know, kid, you think, oh, what could I do? But see, stuff like that, I think people really appreciate, and it's a personal touch and you're doing something to help somebody. And it may not be a big deal to you, but sometimes it's really, it means a lot. It means a lot to them. Okay. Oh, thanks, Heidi. Yeah, asking questions is a good thing. Look, questions for me, put in caps because it's hard for me. My chat's moving a little quicker than it normally does. See, okay, so now this paper I think will look good in here. So I'm just going to pamphlet stitch this in, right? And that's just, now you can use a white pen or something to write in that, or you could just glue stuff in it. But the basic idea of the slider is to just take it and slide it into a tuck spot or a pocket in a journal. Okay. I know, isn't it? If you want paper like this, you need to tune in to Jacqueline's channel, Lovely's Crafting Lodge, on Friday at 4 Eastern. And she sells paper like this to us. So it's really good paper. Nice weight paper, good paper. Okay, so now where's the wonder if I can get this to glue down. Or, I keep forgetting that. Yes, she has a website. Jay, can you put that in when you get a minute? Because it's different. It's like it's not a .com thing. It's a store something store. Yes, it's there all the time. I always forget that. Okay, so this I wanted on. I don't want to put it on that one. Let's get here's one. All right, so if you're flapping, you're not crazy about that flapping. So just get a piece of cardstock. Now this isn't super, super heavy. You just saw Jay's post of March colors. Yeah, she's got cool stuff. Yeah, Jay will do it, or Peggy will put in her link. We'll get it for you. I can always put it in my description box too, so you don't have to go back and scroll. All right, so see here, this I cut, and it's a little short. I was going to wrap it, but I didn't allow for this to pull, right? So what I'm going to do in that case is I'm going to wrap something around the back end, but I'm going to put my pages in first. So let's do the cover. I have two of these. I have another one somewhere. All right, so I'm just going to take my glue brush. I've got it sitting in water here. I'm going to take the excess water out. Now I'm using, to take the excess water out, my old, the backs of my napkins. What we talked about the other day when we were doing napkins. And I'm just going to paint this on. I try to pay attention and really get the edges. I don't usually get the edges well. I think probably because I do them first and then the glue kind of dries out before I get the rest of the surface covered. That's what I'm thinking. So I'm going to my outer edge, lining that up. Oh, usually with a liquid glue, you have a little bit of. I'm just not. I'm just not getting enough glue down. I'm so stingy with the glue. I don't mean to be. Those girls might have stepped away from their keyboard. We'll get it for you, Heidi. Don't worry. We'll get it for you. Like I said, I'll definitely put it in my description box. Okay. See? Look. See? Not enough glue. I don't know what's with me. You can always put a clip on there too. So you might not like that white edge. So you could wrap this around or you could ink it. I'm going to ink it. What I have to do though is find my other square. Can you spare a square? What the heck did I do with it? This is classic pink girly. A little bit of flake here and there. A little bit of flake. There she is. Thanks, honey. All right. I don't have it over there. I know I had two of them. I know I cut two. There it is. Right where I put it. Boy, that's cute too, isn't it? Cute. It's got to go on this away. All right, let's do better. Let's see. Well, glue on the back of my notebook for personal. Going to copy it? Cool. That's what I want. Give you ideas and some things to maybe try. That's wonderful. If you have any questions or need help, just let me know. As long as I get the notice that you've messaged me, I always answer. Always answer. Yeah, Jacqueline, social media has changed, so you can contact her through her website. All right, let's see. The one thing, and she tells us this on Friday nights, that's different when you shop with her or shop on her site, is you have to add your things to the cart and then you can check out. It's easy. Well, glue one in the back of, oh, yeah, that's for gluing it in. That's an idea. That's a good idea. See, now I have to address the insides. Okay, no problem, Heidi. Nice to meet you. Thanks for coming in. I hope you can visit again sometime. It'd be great. Enjoy your day. All right, so I'm just trying to press this down. All right, so now here's some other papers from Jacqueline. Now I've only put a couple in here. I only put like 3 pages in here, but these are going to go in this one. This bluish color. It's kind of short, but I think it'll work. So, okay, Carol. So this is the idea, to keep it flat and slipping it in, right? So I just am going to do a simple blanket pamphlet stitch, not blanket, pamphlet stitch. I've been doing a lot of blanket stitching lately. So let's see, what do I want to use here? You're not going to see a lot of it, but I'm going to cover that, I think. Well, I don't know. I know I have what I think I want to cover the spine with. It might not be big enough, so we may have to. Now, I'm not going to measure anything here. It's just 3 pages. It's just this little, so I'm just going to do center, top, and bottom. So I'm just going to push that through. Actually, let me cut some of this and get my thread ready. You don't need much. This is way too much. It's way too much. And this is waxed linen. You don't need to have waxed linen. You could use embroidery thread. You can use cord. You can use string. You can use the cotton thread, that you would crochet with for like doilies and such. There's like a number 10, and they've got all different sizes. I use some of the stuff I picked up for tatting. Some of that's a little heavier. The bigger the number, the thicker the cord. They've got the baker's twine, all kinds of stuff. I'll let Jacqueline answer that, Brenda, because she uses all different papers. Actually, if it's sitting still, she'll dye it. No matter what she sees. Oh, I would dye that. She dyes everything. All right, so I want my strings on the inside, so I'm going to start on the inside. You can see I didn't do exactly center, but that's the way it goes. So, and then go into the top, and then take it all the way down to the bottom. And it does work better if you let you bend your book closed a little bit. It's easier to get, it really is easier to get your needle and thread through. Now you want to make sure that's pulled fairly taut, not so much to wrinkle your paper, but so it's not loosey-goosey. And then I'm coming back into that center spot, and I want to make sure, I like to have my thread on either side of the center thread, if you know what I mean there. See, it's on either side, and then you just tie it. And if you leave it long enough, you can do a bow. I don't usually, sometimes, just depends. And you can tie little charms. You could glue like little postage stamps or a little image. Tie a button, tie a charms. Just depends on where you want to use it and how you want to use it. So see, those are in there very easily. 3 hole pamphlet stitch, very easy. I could trim these too. We'll just see if they end up being cumbersome. Gail's out. Bye, Gail. Enjoy your day. You take care. I hope you get some relief. when you go see your doctor. She's hoping for a cortisone shot. All right, now I pulled aside a couple little bits I thought might look cute on this particular one. Here they are. Now, of course, if you were making this little slider for a specific journal, you would kind of coordinate. I would think. I would think you'd want to coordinate how it looks to match the journal. You know. So whether it's a word or a phrase or a picture or a lace or whatever. Let's see. Let's see how this looks. I might need something darker. I'm not sure. Thanks, Brenda. Now I'm trying to think if I have I'm going to just ink the edge of this a little bit so it knocks back that white a little bit. So it's not just, see, look, I need some glue in there. Oh, I've been struggling with my little glue thingies here. See, this is what I'm telling you with the corners. Oh my goodness, I just can't get these glue things. And no matter how many times I put a pin or a piece of wire in there and clear that, it just doesn't want to stay open. Lala Gamma! Blanket hellos. Oh no, sick. Type resting while watching. Okay. I have questions for you, Lala. I can send them to you though. I'm making a book with my art buddy friends in it, and I want to include you. But I need some information. But I'll get it from you another time. Because you're not feeling well. Hope you feel better soon. Aw. She's Lala is always watches and leaves me a comment. It's very sweet of her. She's very faithful to do that. So I want to put her in the book. I want to put her in the book, Okay, that's a little better. So then just ink those edges if you so desire. It might not bother you. It bothers me. To me, it sticks out with a sore thumb. Look. I had a little glue there I didn't realize was there. Okay. All right, so now, some people like their things upside down, and that's fine. I'm usually a right side upper. Look at this lace. I don't know where I got it. Probably, oh, see, I'm still going to see that. I guess I should ink that too. I'm thinking that will look cute on there. You don't really see it too much, do you? Hold on, let me ink the back. I might want to wrap it. I've also got, I've got plenty of stuff. This is what I was sitting there and I pulled it and I thought, oh, this might work for today. Look, this was glued down on something else. Well, I don't think that's going to work. Let's just try to get the idea. Boy, that looks nice too, right? Okay, let's see what's in here. Hold on. Let's put that stuff there. Now I'm trying to keep it flat. See, so to me, this is too thick. I don't want to use something like that. Yeah, that's, this first one might work. Hold on. Boy, that's pretty. That's kind of big though, right? Do you think I need a smaller pattern? Like, see, I would wrap it like this. I know, right, Brenda? I'm pretty sure that's from Pearl. If you haven't shopped at Pearl's, I'm telling you, Pearl finds, Pearl's finds. She makes these little bags. She makes all different kinds. And then she stuffs it with stuff. Too many choices. You like the larger one from Pearl? Mm-hmm. This is mostly doilies. Look at this one. I digress. Look, I just can't. I just can't. I just, all right, maybe we'll do the bigger one. Look at this one. Yeah, Nicole, you like the second one too? All right, let's do it. So I really just need, well, maybe I could pull and stretch it. Let's cut it right there. Now, you may not have lace. That's fine. Use a piece of fabric. You could use a piece of paper. All right, this is the front. So I'm going to glue this right here like this and wrap it to the front. Wrap it. Now this I am going to just put a narrow bead of glue because I'm just trying to catch that little edge. Went a little wonky there. Went a little wonky right there. Just trying to catch that little edge there. See? Just trying to catch that little edge with the glue. Now I want to give it a minute. The Fabrifix adheres and doesn't dry, but it gets where it's not going to move on you too much fairly quickly. And then I'm just going to bring it over gently. I find a few spots to glue it down. Then let's see, what do I have? I just saw I don't think I made any spots. Let me see if I can get this out. This is my, of course, we're going to have an avalanche. Yeah, no matter how I try, just gonna have an avalanche. That's all there is to it. I always think I'm going to get to this stuff later and don't come back and put it away. I think this is my commonplace journal. Gosh, I got so many projects going. Can't keep them straight. So this one's not totally. Oh no, this is my not my commonplace. This is my, oh, what the heck's her name? 49 dragonflies or something. I don't think I have a pocket in here. You see if I can just show you. That's too small. So like say this was glued down. I gotta get back into this stuff. Say this was glued for a tuck spot. See, then the slider would just slide in. Or if you had a pocket. So see, it really could be any size envelope. Yeah, that's true. The 2 repeats works really good there. Just let this dry a little bit more. Of course, I can put something else on here, but I want to keep it more flat. But see, if I was going to slip it in like this, I could put something on that corner. I've kind of lost track of Angie's yo-yos and my yo-yos, but even just a little yo-yo at the top. Maybe a little lace or cheesecloth underneath. Would look fabaroonie. Or if you have a pocket on the inside of your journal, you could do a slider there, you know. But I like it. I like it. Hey, Mikey, I like it. Just gotta find another spot to sit that. Oh my goodness. All right, so where are the other ones we have? Let's see, what time is it? It's 11:45. This I might take this apart and redo because see, it's off. It's not lined up right. So that well, I got a little bit of wiggle room here and zhuzh it. I don't know if I want to deal with that. Maybe if I stitch these in, it'll right itself. Look how pretty that is, though, right? Now I could also stencil. I've got some deeper colors like that. I could do a little stenciling here, make that look a little cuter. A little cuter. Now there's another one that I stained. I could cover this with fabric too, totally, right? This is still damp, but I'm really liking this one too. I've got blue pages for this one as well. Now this is some lighter weight paper that Jay makes, which works well for this because I wanted to have a flatter, profile. Oh yeah, and this one's stenciled. Now what I could do, even though if I just didn't want to go back in here and stencil and take the time to do it, what if I just stamped something inside? Let's see, let's find something. I said I didn't care about that green part, but I don't know that I want it stenciled. Did I glue this shut? Looks like I glued this shut. Let's see. No. Oh, maybe just right there. See, that's one thing I didn't think to mention. So when you're gluing these in, make sure you don't use too much glue, because then if it seeps out, that's what you get. You get this. Now, if you don't want to use this as a pocket, no problem. It's not cooperating. Cooperation. Let's see the side's okay. Now, if you don't want this stamping too in your face, you can do ink your stamp and then stamp off and then repeat. Stamp it so it doesn't make a dark image. Or you could use a lighter ink. Let's see. I'm not sure what I want. Maybe I'll use the espresso that I used. Let's put this back on the bottle. Yeah, something to stamp. Of course, my go-to is always some kind of writing, some kind of script. Hey, Debbie, good morning. So I want to do a sample to see how well this inks up, I'll have a little gander here. Goes that way. I don't think I ever used this one much. All right, let's see. It's not going to fit the hole. I don't want it this way because that would be, I want it. I'm doing it this way because I feel like I have more control. So I watched my first spring training. That might be a bit much, guys. I don't know. What do you think? First spring training game yesterday. Boy, was it boring. Jeez. They weren't doing anything. I think it was like a second string team or something odd. That'll be all right, huh? Then I don't have to mess around with the inside. How'd your sale go yesterday, Debbie? My plans changed quickly yesterday, so I didn't get to come in. Keep hitting that finger, that sore finger. Whew, that's always the way, isn't it? Goodness. All right, so that looks okay. But see, now I'm thinking, why don't I put some of this on the front? Just a little bit here and there. Put some on the back. See, this is the trouble I get in. Once I get going, I just keep on ticking. Now, I think I want to add a little depth around the edge here. Let's move this guy out of the way. I think it's easier if I sit this down. Do it this way, the old-fashioned way. Come in from the side and move in towards the center, and you get a much nicer coverage here. And then if I wanted to do in here, and I'm going to just go ahead and put that piece of paper back in there. So I left it in there. So now it's all curled up. Doesn't want to go in there. do that edge. Same on this side. See, I think this is, it's not super grungy. Yeah, I've got a drink sitting here. I never took a drink. I'm getting a little thirsty. Getting a little thirsty. Okay, so that's looking better. Now, what color pages? I think I might hold off because I have some more of the darker plum, but I think I want something a little lighter for in here. So, of course, I can also put some kind of lace on the edge. Maybe a darker. I need something a little darker, I think, to make it pop. Pieces of fabric. Of course, that always could work too. Let's see what this is. I just saw this peeking out. This kind of seems like it might work with this. Like that frayed edge. I don't know. What do you think? I don't know. I'm on the fence. I'm on the fence. I've got a couple other things I can try here. Of course, if I keep with the idea that I want it to be flat, to slide into a pocket, this may not work. Kind of like that. Maybe I have another piece of something like the edge of a hanky or something that I could use. See, I just took this off, but I think I want to use that on a different project. Thought maybe I had something right here, but doesn't look like I do. So I'll have to think about that. But they don't have to all be done today. At least you got some ideas, maybe some ideas on how you can make these little sliders and then work for your in one of your journals. I think all the other journals are packed away. Yeah, so I think that's it for me for today, ladies. This one's still a little damp. So just to recap, okay, this one, we glued the envelopes together. And I glued them where you don't see the flap. Okay? And then we stenciled and stamped. And I'll put pages in there and then do something on the spine. This one I put together with a piece of fabric, and this is attributed to G. Kerr, so I'll do that. You can use paper or fabric. All right. Thanks, Cindy. You too. This one I coffee stained, and then did coffee, and then some acrylic paint, Payne's Gray on the jelly plate, and sop that up. Okay. Oh, I'm glad you enjoyed it. Thanks, CB. So this will have pages in here as well. This one had the flap that you could see. So we covered that with a little bit of scrapbook paper which I put the, just did the 3 held pamphlet stitch, added these in, and then this is just drying, and I'm going to glue that down. And I might just leave that one the way it is. I don't know, it looks kind of cute, right? Are they the only ones I did? 4? Yeah, I should still have one blank one. Let's see, so let's just finish this one up so we can see. Yes, good point. Yes, true, Peggy. Envelopes are so versatile. And then Jacqueline and I often say, they just have a good feel. I don't know, a good squish, or I don't know. It's just hard to, when you touch it, it just feels really cool. See, now this I'm going to have to hold here for a second because it keeps wanting to spring back. Spring back or spring ahead. We were looking up when's daylight savings time. I'm gluing my finger to the. I could put a little button or a little jewel there too, That would be cute, wouldn't it? That would be cute. Let's see what we have in here. Family just arrived. Okay, enjoy your family. Oh, that's fun. Let's see. What do I have here? Even just a little button. But I want it to be flat. I have to keep reminding myself I want it to be flat. So maybe a little paper cutout or something, because all this stuff would cause bulk. This could be just a little journal that you slip in your handbag too. It doesn't have to be a slider. Let's see, I have to come in and do the inside here. That's a little too white, I think, for the rest of it. I like taking that cardstock and then putting that on the jelly plate and sopping up some of the paint and coffee. I think that gave it a nice look. See, this is not wanting to hold. Could have hold it a few minutes. See, I have stuff sitting everywhere. See, that's thin. I might have a smaller one I can put. That's flat. Can't get much flatter than that. I like that. I think I might put some espresso around the edge here. Bye, Cynthia. So if you do this, you'll have to let me know what you think and how it turned out, how you liked it, and how it worked for you. I think just darkening that edge is a good idea. Now this is oxide, not ink. I don't really know the difference, but I tend to go towards the oxides when I use my brush. Where's my glue cap? I need my glue cap. There it is. All right, ladies, I'm going to scoot. You do too, Cindy. So that's my idea for a slider. See, there's just not much to it. But yet, someone could put little thoughts or whatever inside and then tuck that inside their larger journal. And then say they were going away for a day, road trip or whatever, and they wanted to take little notes or write down thoughts or whatever, sketch. You could sketch inside of one of these and then bring it back to your journal and then pop it in a tuck spot or a pocket. And, there you have it. Yeah, that's it for me for today, at least as far as the stream goes. So listen, those of you that are expecting inclement weather, don't do anything silly, okay? Most of us are getting older. Just stay put, stay in, right? If you need anything, well, try to improvise. Just try not to go out if it's nasty where you are, all right? Stay safe, stay warm, and let's see, today is Sunday. Tuesday evening I'll be on. Thursday morning I will not be. I had to schedule a doctor's appointment. Then the only thing available in the recent future was Thursday morning. So that's what I grabbed that one. So I'll remind you on Tuesday evening. But Tuesday evening we'll be working in the book. I've got more folks to add to my Art Buddies journal. So if you're around, stop in. That's 8:30 Eastern and on this channel. And yeah, so take care. It was nice to see you all. Thanks for hanging out with me this morning. And in the meantime, till I see you again, don't forget, take time to be creative. Enjoy the journey. And I'll say goodbye for now.